Hey guys, this is Ustadi and welcome to Comic Space. And with recently Marvel Studios having a grand presentation at this year's San Diego Comic Con and with D23 fast approaching, however, Marvel Studios did not do their traditional slate reveal where they went on to reveal some new titles. So we are still quite unclear about what is going to come on the theatrical side as well as on Disney Plus, with lots of rumored projects that we have been talking on the channel for the longest time. And we know that there are few projects that are going to be very pivotal moving forward to set up Doomsday, to set up Secret Wars. So anyhow, we have an official update by Marvel Studios where they have wanted to add some new release date. However, we don't have any information about the titles and about the projects which are going to be featured on those release date, but we do have an official release schedule of what is phase 6 and phase 7 is going to look like moving forward. And again, the list is quite interesting because it is quite a short list. It means a lot of the projects that we have been talking about on the channel and even projects like Doctor Strange 3 may have to be left out of the multiverse saga. So again, our latest update is coming from Variety directly, where Marvel Studios have went on to reveal 4 new release dates added to the schedule with 2026 and 2027, with February 13 being listed for 2026, which obviously will be coming before Avengers Doomsday, and moving forward we will have November 6th release date for 2026. So alongside Avengers Doomsday we are going to have 2 more theatrical projects coming up in that same year. Moving up to 2027, again we don't have too much to go on it, but we have only 4 release dates, and I think that is why the whole update is just makes a lot more interesting to talk about. So moving to 2027, so we don't have anything before Avengers Secret Wars, and we are going to move directly with July 25 of 2027 and November 5th of 2027. So again, these are the 4 release dates which again does not feature any title, or we don't know anything about what projects that potentially can be. We haven't heard anything rumored, but obviously with everything going on we obviously can piece it together about how this last phase and this last leg of multiverse saga is going to look like. So we are obviously going to come back to these potential projects, but another thing that I want to add to it, that the Blade film is still somehow slated to be for that November release date of 2025 next year. And again, with how San Diego Comic Con presentation went, Kevin Feige did not mention Blade at all, and as he referred Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four and Brave New World as the 3 theatrical projects that are going to be presented by Marvel Studios next year. So however, even though Blade is listed for that 2025 release date, it is somehow been delayed indefinitely because again Marvel Studios is going to take a lot more time to figure that Blade film out. But again, they don't have any other room to move that project towards, because I think after that you are going to need other projects to build, to set up Secret Wars, to build and set up Doomsday especially. And again, I think there are only 2 projects which are going to be very pivotal, because they will be coming before Secret Wars, because after Secret Wars we are just gonna move ahead with all of the Mutant Saga build up. But again, there are the only 2 release dates before we head into Secret Wars, so unless Marvel Studios would like to extend their release schedule, but they obviously have to get cracking on that Blade film, because there is no more flexibility left within the multiverse saga as we are headed in this last leg. And I think another very interesting project that we need to talk about, that we haven't talked a lot about, and Marvel Studios themselves doesn't talk about that project a lot too, and that is Armor Wars. What is going on with that project? And since that project was transitioned from a Disney Plus series to a theatrical project, for the longest time we haven't heard. Marvel Studios did an official presentation at D23 with Don Cheadle, but we don't have any idea about what is actually going on with Armor Wars. And again, like I said, there is no more flexibility left within the multiverse saga, so you can make some major changes here and there with the schedule, or unless you're going to have to extend your release schedule from 3 films to 4. So again, I think if Armor Wars is still happening, so it is probably going to take one of those places on that release schedule. So probably 2026 and 2027, I don't think so it is going to be getting delayed. Like after Into the Mutant Saga, it will be taking one of those release dates, possibly in 2026. So another very major project, I think it has to be Spider-Man 4. But again, I think another thing with that film is, we have been talking about Spider-Man 4 for a very long time, but is it actually going to be a multiverse story, or it is actually going to be a much more of a grounded storyline? So again, I think Marvel Studios is going to be very critical about choosing these projects, and especially with projects rumored like Shang-Chi 2, which again we have been hearing a lot about how it can possibly setting up Doomsday and Secret Wars, and Doctor Strange 3, which is I think the most important film to set up Secret Wars. I think that has to be one of the projects and the potential storyline that Marvel Studios could do a lot with. So again, I think we really got to see how they are going to move forward with a very limited option that they have on the release schedule. Anyhow, Spider-Man, I think the whole Spider-Man franchise still comes under Sony Pictures. So I think anyhow Spider-Man 4 can be added to Sony's schedule and it won't affect Marvel Studios 3 films a year schedule moving forward. So I think there will be flexibility with that film. But again, coming back to, like I said, Shang-Chi 2, Doctor Strange 3, and there are a bunch of other projects. Like I mentioned, Armor Wars, we don't know what is happening with that project. In Young Avengers project, that was rumored, but again, we don't know what is happening with that because reportedly Marvel Studios have put brakes on that project as well. So again, this is really going to be the game of choosing, because after Secret Wars, because again, what you're going to do after Secret Wars, you really gotta move with building up your next one, and obviously with the X-Men reboot, which is again going to come out, which we are thinking is going to come directly after Secret Wars, which can be taking one of the release date in 2027. Because as it looks like just right after Secret Wars, Marvel Studios is going to move into building their new X-Men team and building the Mutant Saga straight on. And anyhow, we are just talking about the theatrical side of the Marvel Studios and not taking account of Disney Plus series and everything that is going to come with it. Because obviously Marvel Studios can do a lot of things and set up Secret Wars and Doomsday in a much more broader way with Disney Plus. But anyhow, we know that Marvel Studios is also cutting off their Disney Plus content, and as of right now, we know that 2 official Disney Plus series that are going to come next year, which includes Daredevil Born Again and IRONHEART, and I don't think so any of those projects are actually going to serve the main and the primary storyline that they have, and that is the multiverse and Secret Wars. And again, moving forward from 26, we don't know anything about it. We are very uncertain about what is going to happen after 2025 slate, which again, like I said, does not do a lot of things except the Fantastic Four film is the one thing which is probably going to be our final pitch stuff before we head into all of the Avengers projects and everything that comes with it. So again, I think there's not a lot of things. Again, I do believe there are not a lot of things left to do also. I think Marvel Studios already have done a lot of foundation work with the story of Kang. And anyhow, Kang might not be the main villain moving forward, and he has been dethroned by Doctor Doom. Anyhow, the storyline with Kang and all of the build up with Kang and the Council of Kang, I think Marvel Studios have done a plenty of work with it that they can bring Doctor Doom in the halfway of the multiverse saga. So again, I think it is going to be very interesting about how Marvel Studios is going to build towards Doomsday. And like I said, there's not a lot of room or a lot of flexibility. So obviously it is going to be very interesting how the next slate and how the last phase of the multiverse saga is going to look like. So I think it is time for me to see you guys off. Well, that's it for this one, guys. But before you go, you can consider to grab that subscriber and so don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel or DC update. I'm so glad that you guys got the chance to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.